No one told me at all how hard arm swatching is. Good God. Alright, so.
I mean, I don't, you know, and then, like, see,
These bitches have no idea what's in store for them. These bitches have no idea what's in store for them tonight.
These bitches have no idea what's in store for them.
These girls have no idea what's in store for them tonight.
Welcome to the Avengers Initiative. It's great to have you here. Let's get started. As you can tell by the title of the video, we're going to be discussing liners. We're going to go through the consistency of the liners that I own in my collection. We're going to go through the formulation, how it applies, how much they are, and how big they are, and which one is the best one. So we're going to find out which of the ones of these has the best quality, has the best price, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So we're gonna go through 4 brands. We're gonna go through MELOLOPS, their water inks. We're gonna go through Glisten Cosmetics' wet liners. We're gonna go through Glam Vice's retro liners and ABH's cake liners. So these liners are not actually liners. They're water activated paints, and so these are little pigments that are very hard, and you just wet them and they become creamy like a liquid, and it's colorful and it's cute. This happens to be the best type of product for eyeliner in my humble opinion, and if you know who I am, you know I'm always doing eyeliner content. Eyeliner is probably one of the easiest things that I know how to do in terms of makeup styles or makeup techniques, and we're spending a lot of time on this. It is 6:35. Let's see how long this takes me.
You got fucking played. You got fucking played. Look at yourself.
Okay, so we're gonna go through the reds and the oranges first in my collection, and then we're gonna do the entire rainbow out all the way down to white, and then we're gonna do pastels. This is as much water as I'm gonna need. This is like my essential water so that I have in my room, so I'm just gonna use that. We have some paper towel to wipe my brushes with, and yeah, let's get started. So I'm gonna be using a Just Up wing liner brush, and it looks like this, so it's pretty wide, and so it'll give you a big swatch. And then I'm also using one of my favorite brushes for liners. This is an old NYX brush from one of the Vivid Brights liners. I just cleaned it off and I use it for eyeliner, and this is the main brush that I always use. So yeah. Whew. We're actually going to get the similar colors first. This is the Glam Vice Retro Liner in the shade Hot Pants. We have the Radioactive By Melolops Water Ink, and this is in the shade Radiant. So these are what the colors look like together. They're not the same, but they're quite similar, so I want you guys to know that you guys have options. You guys know that these colors are different. This one is much darker and this one's a little bit lighter. So we're gonna start by using the MELOLOPS liner first. This is in the shade Radiant. All I'm doing is just wiping my brush back and forth. I already just dipped my brush into the water and then I dipped it into the product. So I'm just swiping back and forth, and I'm doing this for about 15 to 30 seconds for every single liner because I want this to have the same type of experience. I want you guys to see how it applies after it gets creamy. If you apply the water with the brush into the product too fast and then go straight onto your eyes, the product will look a lot thin. It will give a very thin consistency and will come out patchy as hell. So please go back and forth with your liners, with your water activated paints, whatever it may be, just because you don't want to have a thin consistency. And this is how it looks. Here's the Glam Vice liner. This is in the shade Hot Pants. Again, here is how big this is, how much product it has in it, and how much it is. On the screen, you'll see it. I really do like the component of the retro liners because the cap is quite like thick, so you could put a lot of water in there if you're using a lot. The MELOLOPS pots and the Glisten Cosmetics pots have similar components, so yeah. All right, we're gonna just swipe it underneath right here. So we got one nice big swatch right there. So now we're just gonna do the same thing we did with the MELOLOPS. And that's the one thin swatch. Oranges are pretty standard for color payoff for water activated paints. I feel like they always look really good and they don't crack as much as like yellows and whites or greens. So yeah. This is the Beam Water Ink from MELOLOPS. This is the Electric Cake Liner and this is in the shade Electric Orange. Here is the sizing and the price of this bad boy. This actually is a stack, so it's quite different than all of these because these are singles. So this comes in a stack, so you can't separate the orange from these two and you can get the orange by itself. So that's the only downside. But we will go through the other colors so you guys will see if a stack is worth buying. And the same thing for all the rest of the liners, because some of them do come in sets and some of them are sold individually. So now we're going to swatch Chill Pill and Beam. Alright, and now we will swatch. Again, this is MELOLOPS this is MELOLOPS Beam. Sorry, I'm mixing everything up. More layers so that this is an even swatch, or comes out as even as possible. This is how it's swatched. So as you can see, this one's a bit sheerer than this one. This is more of like a yellow orange instead of like a pure orange. This is MELOLOPS, and then this is Glam Vice. Also, I just swatched this one with the thin brush. I dipped this brush with the water and then I went directly into the product and then I immediately swiped right after. This is what happens. It gets really liquidy really fast. It gets very watery, so be careful. I've seen some people just wet the product by just spraying the liner with you know, water in like an actual spray. That's very smart, but I'm an idiot, so I'm suffering right now. All right. So this one is like a good in between these two colors. So these are all the oranges, and I'm about to swatch the red that I have, and this is the only red that I have in my collection. So we're going to swatch it just because there's nothing to compare, but I still want to swatch it for you guys just because I want you guys to see how a red looks when it's water activated. Okay, for these two swatches, in my opinion, from the way it looks, Glam Vice definitely takes the cake. Doesn't look like it's creasing. It doesn't look like it moved around when I was moving my arm. It actually looks pretty pigmented, so you'll see like right here it's starting to like bubble up a little bit. I don't know if it's because I moved my wrist too much or whatever, but even the thin swatch is starting to crumble. So we'll compare these two and just leave these two by themselves so we can just look at the formula of these. This one is a little less vibrant and it doesn't look nearly as close to how vibrant Beam is compared to the Glam Vice one. However, again with the cracking, I feel like both of them are cracking the same amount. I don't know if you guys can see that, but they seem to be cracking the same amount for both of those swatches. So yeah, however, I do feel the MELOLOPS one looks a lot more pigmented than this one. This one looks a little bit more sheer. So this is the ABH Electric Orange, and then this is Glam Vice Bandana. So looking at these formulas, I feel like the bandana one is delicious. Look at how that's swatched. Like, holy shit, that is beautiful. I've never actually used the red one, but I actually really like the color of this. It's like a really deep, true red, and I really like it. For the ABH one, it looks a bit shiny. I let this dry the same amount as every single one of these. Maybe I swatched it wrong, but it's starting to cake up a little bit right here. So now we're gonna feel these. I want to see which one crumbles at the touch. So at the touch, MELOLOPS is super dry on top. This one, Glam Vice is dry, but it doesn't feel like it would crumble. I feel like the MELOLOPS on top would crumble a little bit. For the MELOLOPS over here, it feels pretty dry, very similar to this one, but it's not crumbling like this one. It's not as dry as this one, but I feel like these two are not that far from each other in terms of dryness. For the ABH one, this is the softest one. It doesn't feel dry at all, but it is transferring. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it transferred a tiny bit. I don't know if it's because it's so soft, like the actual pigment is soft, so it's like transferring, but as I'm like rubbing my finger on it, it kind of transfers off. And this is how it looks after I've touched it. As for the red one, we're gonna touch the red one with my other finger and see if it transfers. It transferred a little bit right there. I don't know if you guys can see, but it transferred a little bit right there. But this one's almost as soft as the ABH one. I feel like the ABH one might be a little bit softer at the top. I feel like Glam Vice wins for this one. So the top three is Hot Pants by Glam Vice for this one, Beam by MELOLOPS for this one, and ABH will go third, and then this one will go last. I swatched the yellow ones the other day. I asked you guys on Twitter and I asked you guys on Instagram which one is the best one, and you guys could not tell the difference. Some of you guys did, and you guys decided that the bottom one was the best looking one. So this is what it looks like when it's layered on, going back and forth with the brush, making sure that it's nice and even. So again, this is what I did to try to make it as even as possible, like an even swatch. And these two were just one swipe. Okay, so now we're gonna do the MELOLOPS one. This is in the shade Raise. This is the water ink in the shade Raise. Again, we're gonna try to make this first swatch as even as possible. So we're gonna go back and forth and just clean it up, make sure it's nice and even. So again, these three swatches are ABH, and then these three are MELOLOPS. This is the Glam Vice liner, and this is in the shade Crop Top. Get that nice and even. I'm gonna look at all the results that we had before. So I said number 3. I went the same exact order that I swatched over here. I swatched it the same order, so we'll see if that changes. So here are the swatches of the yellows. Again, these three right here are ABH, this is MELOLOPS, and then this right here is Glam Vice. I feel like the ABH one is not as yellow as both of these are, Glam Vice and MELOLOPS. It looks a lot more neon and more of like a green-ish yellow. MELOLOPS and Glam Vice, they both have like very smooth applications for like the trying to get it nice and layered swatches, and then the single swatches, this one comes up more pigmented. I'm about to touch them so you guys can see how they are holding up. Touching the ABH one, and it's transferring just a tad. Now we're gonna touch the MELOLOPS, and this one probably will feel a lot drier than the Glam Vice because I got that same experience with the oranges. I've used this color, it crumbled on my eye. When I tried a different brand that I will not say the name of, when I tried a similar color from that brand, it still crumbled the exact same way as this one. And this one is a lot cheaper than that one, so that's why I'm not gonna mention that name. So for the Glam Vice one, this one has the most even swatch for the trying to layer it on to make it perfect swatch. The initial just like first big swatch, this one kind of on this level but not as much, but when I touch it, it's dry, same type of dryness as the MELOLOPS. And then the first single swatch, they both look the same. So these two are very, very similar. I feel like I'm leaning towards Glam Vice for this one because of this nice little swatch that I did here. The Glam Vice, MELOLOPS, and ABH. So if we're doing it based on the consistency of how it looks and the pigmentation of each of the liners, it's going to be Glam Vice, MELOLOPS, and then ABH. If we're looking at the color, I think I'm gonna go with MELOLOPS, ABH, then Glam Vice. Glam Vice is the truest yellow, but if you're looking for a true neon yellow, definitely MELOLOPS. This one is like super true to the like yellow neon. Pretty much look the same to me, to be honest, but when you look at it in person, there is quite a stark difference. So I'm just gonna do close-ups of each of them. So here are how they look. This is the Glam Vice swatches. This is the MELOLOPS swatches. And then these are the ABH swatches. Also just want to note that I feel like these will perform a lot better if you try to make it as even as possible. The first applications of the thinner lines seem to be crumbling just a tad. I don't know if you guys can see that, but for MELOLOPS Glam Vice, it seems to be crumbling a lot, but for ABH, that one seems to be doing pretty good. Okay, so these are in the process of drying. So here are the greens. As you can see, they're all pretty different. So again, first three swatches are ABH, this is MELOLOPS, and then this is Glam Vice. So Glam Vice is still drying over here. I think I went in with too much product, but that's okay. So we're just gonna talk a little bit about ABH. ABH's swatches seem to be a lot more of a lighter green. It's more of like a lime, like a true lime, literally true to lime. So they're quite different than these two swatches. These swatches are MELOLOPS, so these seem to be a little bit darker. Underneath here is the red that stained my arm, so it's peeking through the swatch. I don't know if that's telling me that it's sheer or that swatch is ruining my life right now. But it is of a darker green than both of these, so we're just gonna look at this one instead. So we're just gonna look at this swatch instead. This one seems to be really nice. It's very smooth. It doesn't look like it's cracking yet, and the first initial line swatch looks pretty good too. These are the Glam Vice swatches. I touched it a little bit with my hand, so sorry about that. I feel like the MELOLOPS one was a lot more of an even swatch, and this one was a lot less even, a little bit more streaky. In my opinion, I feel like MELOLOPS definitely wins. We're just basing it off of these two swatches, like these one single swatches. I feel like MELOLOPS definitely has the upper hand. If you're looking for a nice neon lime green, definitely go with ABH, but if you're looking for a true neon green, I would say go with MELOLOPS. Glam Vice would definitely be your second choice, but just due to the fact that it's just really streaky, is just throwing me off a little bit, so yeah, compared to this and that. Again, this one has the red swatch underneath, but the way they feel, I feel like MELOLOPS feels pretty damn good. Glam Vice actually feels a lot more drier than the MELOLOPS one. The ABH stained my finger again, so I don't know if these are problematic in that point, but I noticed that they keep transferring off a little bit on my finger whenever I touch them, but they are very soft to the touch, so cracking might be minimal with these, but I definitely think that the MELOLOPS one is a better choice for a true neon green. So the rankings go for green, like true green will be MELOLOPS, and then Glam Vice. For a true lime green, I say go with ABH. Whew, my arm fucking hurts. Sorry guys. Okay, so now we're gonna do the blues. Good God, I am going to literally be snoring at the end of this video, I swear to God. Okay, I'm back. I just ate, so I'm a little bit happier. Okay. Also, I reapplied my lip. Whew. We're gonna do the blues now. So we got 3 blues, and we have 2 from Glam Vice. We're just gonna be comparing Glam Vice and MELOLOPS for this one. So these are all different blues. I must say that none of these are the same. Actually, these might be closer to each other in color. This is the water ink in the shade Cosmic, and it looks like this. This is the Glam Vice shade Mood Ring. This is Bell Bottoms. Get this as creamy as possible. I feel like this one might be creamier than the other ones that I've tried from the MELOLOPS neons. So now we're just gonna clean off this brush. First, these swatches are MELOLOPS. These three are Glam Vice, and then these three are Glam Vice as well. This is in the shade Bell Bottoms. This is in the shade Mood Ring, and then this is in the shade Cosmic from MELOLOPS. So, what do you guys think? I know that they're still drying for the first initial swatches, but for the ones that have already been layered on, like trying to make it even, they seem to be giving me the same amount of streakiness, and they are the exact same color. I thought they were different colors, but they're not. Literally, I don't know what to tell y'all. These two look exactly the same. From the line swatches, I feel like they would both perform the same way, both perform the same type of like pigmentation and like the same consistency, so I definitely feel like there's barely a comparison. But if you're looking for a blue, definitely go for Bell Bottoms by Glam Vice. I think that this one is very nice. To the touch, it's quite dry. To the touch, both of them feel the same. These two, to the touch, feel the exact same. So that is the blues, and we are gonna go into the purples. So these are from Glam Vice, and then this is the MELOLOPS one. I feel like maybe these two can compare, but definitely not these two. Don't mind me, but I'm drinking a margarita because this shit's stressing me out, so I need to take a load off. I can love it, eat it fast. Alright, so we're gonna swatch Electric Purple from ABH. I really am not a fan of these stacks because they're just like flimsy. I just don't like it. It's stressing me out. Maybe it won't bother other people, but for me, it personally bothers me. I don't know what it is, but it just doesn't seem realistic.
It's not realistic. It's just not realistic.
Now we're gonna do MELOLOPS. And here's one swipe. Alright, we're gonna do tie-dye from Glam Vice. This is tie-dye. Okay. So now that we got all the similar purples done, we're gonna add another purple. This is in the shade Soda Pop. This is Glam Vice. So yeah, just looks like this. They all look the same so far, so this is gonna be really hard. Now at this very moment, what brand are you guys rooting for right now? I just want to know, like, this is in the middle of the video. What are you guys rooting for neons? What are you guys rooting for pastels? If you think they're gonna hold up. We haven't introduced Glisten Cosmetics yet, but we will. Just for the purples, they all look pretty good, and there's really never an issue with purples. I feel like purples are easy to do for liners. Eyeshadows, I don't know about all that. So here what they look like. I'm about to look at them right now. This is my first time looking at it through the camera, but I can't see, so I'm like trying really hard to root for the ABH liners because I really like the white one. The white one is what I'm using on my eyes right now from this stack, but for some reason they're just shiny. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's a shine to them. They're not truly matte, and that's what bothers me about it. They perform really nicely and they feel soft to the touch, but they do transfer and they're pretty shiny. They're not fully matte, like as if they never really fully dried down. Here is the MELOLOPS one. This is the third one right here. It's MELOLOPS right there. pretty damn good. It literally looks smooth as hell. It doesn't look streaky at all. So Glam Vice over here is a little streaky. You can see it right there. And then this magenta is fabulous. Really smooth. Maybe Glam Vice just doesn't perform well with the UV reacted type of paint. That's not their strongest suit. I feel like MELOLOPS definitely has a UV reactive like to the T. I'm not really a fan of the neons from Glam Vice, but I really am a fan of the other ones from Glam Vice. Look at how smooth that is. That is so smooth. I don't know if you guys are seeing that, but like it's super smooth. No streaks at all. Definitely, this one is definitely a new favorite shade of mine. This one's in the shade Soda Pop. Fabulous. Absolutely delicious. I am in love. Thank you. If I could kiss you, I would. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna get some hand sanitizer and try to like touch that again because I want you guys to see how this transfers. Use this finger to touch the ABH one. So this is me with just like pretty decent pressure. And now I'm gonna go in with the other swatch. Decent pressure as well. And it rubs off just a little bit. You can see that. With the other finger, I'm gonna touch MELOLOPS. This one's a lot more dry in texture, if you guys can see that. A lot more dry in texture. Not really transferring that much, but you can see like the crumbles coming off a little bit. But if you're not touching your eyeliner that much, then it won't bother you. MELOLOPS and Glam Vice have similar textures. The way it feels very similar, so I'm not too bothered. And here is Soda Pop, which is my favorite new shade. I am crying. And these fingers are nice and clean. So Glam Vice, you guys don't transfer that much, and you guys don't crumble that much. So shout out to y'all right now. But yeah, here are my rankings for these. I'm gonna go with MELOLOPS, ABH, and then Glam Vice. ABH, although it is shiny, this application is much more smoother than the Glam Vice one. The only thing is the shine that's bothering me. So if it doesn't bother you, definitely go with ABH, if not MELOLOPS. But Glam Vice definitely has my heart for this shade right here. This is amazing. I love this. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Almost done. We're almost done. So these are the pinks that I have in my collection. This is the ABH NORVINA, the Radioactive by MELOLOPS Atomic shade, and that's in the shade Roller Skate. So I'm super excited to get these pinks out of the way. Put my hair up because goddamn, sometimes it just annoys me. I'm tired of hair. I got ABH NORVINA, which looks like this. This is in the shade Electric Pink. We have MELOLOPS's Atomic Water Ink. We have Roller Skate from Glam Vice, the Retro Liner. So we're about to get into the pinks. Pinks are usually my favorite color to use in terms of retro liners. Wow, my camera is so slanted right now, I just noticed. Pinks are definitely my favorite to use in terms of retro liner. I feel like you can never go wrong with the formula. I really do assume that all these are gonna kind of look the same. And when I look directly at it from the packaging, it looks pretty similar. So let's hope for the best. So here we got all the neon pinks. They look the exact same. Again, ABH, shiny, shiny, shiny. I don't know why. Liners, in my opinion, shouldn't look shiny unless they're metallics, but that's just me. I don't know if they were trying to create like a satin formula, but if you can see that, it looks great. Absolutely great. Whew, good lord. All right, so here is MELOLOPS. Very great neon, very smooth. This feels a lot drier than the Glam Vice ones. Like it really feels like the moisture on my arm is gone. So that's the only thing that's bothering me. Otherwise, perfect, perfect, perfect. I feel like it looks really, really good, and it pretty much gives me the same impact as the ABH one. And here is the Glam Vice one. This one I think is pretty damn good. I used it in my ombre liner tutorial, and if you haven't seen that, you probably should go see it, because why not? ABH does really take the cake for the softest to the touch formula. A lot of water activated paints tend to be really dry, so their usage of the name cake liner is quite on brand because it actually feels like soft like cake. So if you feel like dryness does bother you, I say go for ABH, but if not, definitely go for either one of these. I feel like they have the same impact. Nothing really that much of a difference other than the dryness of it, but honestly that doesn't personally bother me. I don't know why, but the ABH ones transfer for some reason. I would love to know why. Fucking focus. So yeah, these are all the pinks. Again, ABH, MELOLOPS, and Glam Vice. I felt like it took forever to get here. Okay, so we have 2 whites. We're gonna be comparing the Glam Vice white and then the NORVINA white. The NORVINA white is what I have on my eyes right now, and I'll zoom in so you guys can see how it's holding up. This is how the white is holding up, and I applied this at 5 o'clock. I applied this at 5 o'clock and it is now 10:33 at night, so yeah, totally up to you guys. If you think it looks good, let me know. For the amount of wear, I feel like this actually looks good. Okay, so my camera is running out of storage, so I swatched the whites off camera. So here are the whites. This one right here is ABH, and this one is Glam Vice. So, let's look at it. From first glance, I really like the ABH one. From first glance, it really worked really nicely when I applied it on my eyes today. So I really do enjoy it, and I think it is probably going to be my favorite. So I can see that the Glam Vice is cracking just a tiny bit. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it is cracking and settling into those fine lines very quickly. For this one, not so much on this side, but here it can get a little patchy. For these little Z's that I made, I just wanted to see how they would apply just by, you know, moving the brush around. The one that is cracking the most is the Glam Vice one, so we're gonna give it up to ABH for this one because I feel like the white for ABH is bomb. This one is actually really good, and it's really hard to formulate a really good white eyeliner because they always crack. So if you're looking for a white eyeliner, I would say definitely 100%. If you're into getting these 3 colors, this is the only problem that I have with stacks, is that you can't get individuals of the color. If Anastasia released these on their own, I would definitely recommend the white one out of the 3. Totally up to you guys though, but for me personally, the white absolutely takes the cake for this one. So I have all of the pastel retro liners. These are all the pastels from Glam Vice. They're always selling out. Honestly, I really love these. We're gonna swatch them and compare them to Glisten and see what happens. So now let's look at the Glisten Cosmetics, and here's what they look like. These are the wet liners from Glisten Cosmetics. The pastels from Glam Vice are really creamy. I don't know if you guys can see that, but they even start to bubble up as you like go through the formula. I'll be right back and I'll have everything swatched and I'll review everything all in one shot. So far we are getting to, these are going to be the Glisten Cosmetics ones, and then these are going to be the Glam Vice ones. Here is literally all of the pastels that I own. On this row we have Glam Vice, and then on this row we have Glisten Cosmetics. Let me tell you, that was a doozy swatching them. Okay, so now that they're all fully dry and got on my shirt and pants, now it's time to compare them. The Glam Vice ones seem to be the brighter one. Like looking at them, I'm like, there isn't much of a difference. Like blue is a lot different from Glam Vice. Their pastel is a lot more on the greenish side, and then the Glisten Cosmetics one is a lot more blue and a lot more like pastel blue. As for the pink and the purple, they both perform really well. The liner swatch of like the thinner swatch, the Glisten one looks really good. You could get the liners individually, but when you buy stuff in a set, it usually takes like a little little discount from the purchase when you purchase them all together. So that's the only thing from the purchase when you purchase them all together. They all look the damn same. The pastels on the Glam Vice side feel really nicely, and they both feel the same. Like Glisten and Glam Vice feel really similar. I think I would pick the Glam Vice ones. I really like this shade of blue. I feel like this pastel blue is so nice. So I definitely would pick this if I was to buy the set. Here are all the swatches for the pastels. So tired and I can't wait to edit this video. By the way, I quickly want to mention all of these brands except for ABH are small. So if you want to support small brands, this is the greatest time to do so. They all have different stories and they all come from different places, and it would be awesome if you guys really just supported these companies. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're interested in my content on Instagram, definitely go follow me on Instagram at cutcreaser. Join the initiative. We would love some more Avengers. And yeah, if you would like to see more from me, definitely comment down below what you guys would like to see next. I really don't know what to post most of the time, so this video was really on a whim. Thank you guys so much for watching. It means so much to me that you guys actually support me on YouTube, so thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Thank you for getting me to 25k. I promise I will upload as much as I possibly can this summer. I finally have no responsibilities, so I literally have no excuse. If you guys haven't seen my previous videos, you guys can click right here. I don't know where, probably here or here, I'm not too sure, but yeah, thank you guys so much for supporting my channel, and I will see you guys next time. Comment down below your favorite brand from this video and let me know if you guys decide to purchase from these brands. I would really love to see that. That's really all I have to say, and